I recently uploaded a video called The Ultimate Guide to Front Walk Cycles. Since then, I've been getting a lot of requests to do the same thing, but for quarter front cycles. And of course, I listened to the people on this channel, so that is what we're doing today. Let's jump into Toonboom and get started. So a lot of these steps are going to be pretty similar to our ultimate front walk cycle guide. There's also going to be some techniques that we go through here that I kind of missed in the last video. Kind of use what you learn in these videos interchangeably, whether you're doing a front or a quarter front or a profile walk. So first thing, let's get rid of the shadow. Let's use our master controller to get our quarter front view. And just like for our front walk cycle, let's do a ground guide. Let's do our walk with proper perspective. So we'll just make a rough ground guide, as long as we know that the front line is for the front foot and the back line is for the back foot. Now we're ready to do our main poses for our walk. Just a quick review, they're the contact, down, passing, up position, and second contact. Here's a video outlining those poses in more detail. All I'm going to do differently in this video is I'm not going to worry about the upper body at all right now. I'm not going to move the arms, I'm not going to move the head, I'm just worried about the feet. I'll roughly move these feet into their correct position. Just so the heel and the toe are roughly on my guidelines. I can even create a draw over node that I can use to help get the posing correct. So here is my draw over in red. Notice how closely I stuck to my original character. That really helps to keep my volumes and my size consistent. Let's do the other side. And using my draw over as a guide to where I can put my feet, I'll just switch the foot position. So the screen left comes to the front, and the screen right goes to the back. Quarter front walk, it is a little bit tough to match exactly where my feet go, but as long as they are close enough, it should look okay. So we have both of our drawovers. Now we can match the deformers to these drawovers. Go exactly to our drawover just because of our limitations with the drawing substitutions, but that's not a big deal. And if we deactivate our drawover and we scrub through, we have some pretty nice legs. Let's time this walk out now because the timing really isn't going to change. I'm going to set mine to 16 frames for each step. Move my second contact to frame 17 and then copy my first contact to frame 33. Loop this and play it. Our feet are moving in a cycle. Woo! Now we're ready to do our passing position. So like I said before, the key to a good walk cycle that's versatile, that you can drag into other scenes and modify, is the feet should be evenly spaced. Work on the lower body peg and just create a couple of tweens. Tweens are even, so the position of the feet is what we want. Around frame 9, let's drop a keyframe. And we can do the same thing on the other foot. Around frame 25, let's drop another keyframe. It's going to be our position for our passing pose. We're going to put our back foot in sort of the right position. And we'll make sure our feet are still on the guidelines. We'll do it on the other foot this time. Play through. We're getting more of a walk cycle action. Back to frame 9 and do our draw over for this pose. And now same exact process. We're going to match this character to these drawovers. Let's have a look. First passing pose, and we have our second passing pose. Now let's add some bounce and some weight to this walk cycle. And how do we do that? with our down and up pose. Let's throw a tween from our contact to our passing. Also going to tween my upper body pegs so I can add a keyframe in the middle and lower them for my down pose. Halfway through, keyframe my upper and lower body, and same thing on the other side. So first thing, I'm going to drop my upper body by a few clicks. 1, 2, 3. And same thing on the other side. 1, 2, 3. We kind of have that bobbing action. I'm going to take my pelvis and drop it the same amount, just to keep things consistent. Now it really looks like his body is rising and lowering. Onion skin activated. Let's do another draw over for the feet. Legs are looking great. We just need to do our up pose to connect everything together. We're going to tween from our passing to our second contact, and then from our second passing back to our first contact. Also going to tween the upper body because we want to raise it a little bit more. We'll use our onion skin to adjust the position. Playing through, we have a nice walk that's looping for the feet. Now we're ready to do the upper body. It's very important that we open up our upper body peg because we have some animation on the top and we don't want to lose it. So we're going to be working on the head and torso peg layers. For a walk, we need to remember the arms oppose the legs. So if my screen right leg is forward, my screen left arm is going to be forward. Let's do a draw over our first contact position. And there we go. Let's match our arms to our draw overs. And these handles really make it easy to manipulate these arms. Notice as well, we're going to use the sleeves to kind of help sell that perspective and tell the audience which way the arms are actually facing. Let's go to our second contact and adjust the arms to meet these draw overs as well. Have a look at our first finished poses. First contact and our second contact. I'm going to grab these two keyframes and paste them at the end. So now we have a finished cycle. Here is kind of a neat trick to quickly get some nice rotation in the arms. I'm going to throw a tween on these keyframes, but instead of just having a basic tween, let's throw some ease on the end. Let's say 45. These can be any number you want. You can play around with it. If you look at our arms when we play it, the arms really have a nice smooth spacing. You can go in on the down pose and just offset the arms slightly. We'll add some drag. Same on the other side. Now the arms are really swinging nicely and we didn't really have to do much work. Just need to make sure that we're tweening on the upper body now. And we can throw another tween on our legs, and if we play it, have a pretty decent walk cycle. Now using the same kind of thinking that we did for the arms, let's adjust the head. I'm going to go right into the head peg layer. On the passing position, let's have his head tilt down. This rig, we can use a master controller to get these head tilts, but you can do it manually if you don't have one. You don't want to move the head too much. just slightly. We can adjust this as well. And we can copy this keyframe to our other passing position. Now if we tween this and add some ease, you can get a nice effect with the head. Woo! But if you notice, if we go in, things are sort of popping out of place. We can try and fix that if we collapse these pegs, select everything, and convert it to 2s. Now we got to scroll through each keyframe and make sure everything is lined up correctly. We have some head movement, we have some arm movement that's looking really nice, and the feet are lined up on the ground in perspective. And that's that, guys. That is a quarter front walk cycle. I like to break my legs and my arms up when I do a quarter front walk. I feel it kind of gives me a nicer flow to the arms. You can get this rig for like $1 on my Gumroad. There's also a free version if you don't feel like spending any money. So that's all the time we have today, but any questions, post them in the comments, ask them in our Discord. We're really growing as a community on this channel, and it's really, really nice to see. Thanks for watching, and I'll see everybody in the next video. Marlo. Time for some shouldies.